Imagine shedding layers of who you think you are to discover the divine blueprint within. This video will guide you through Jesus' powerful unveiling of Genesis, showing you how these ancient stories aren't just history, but a profound roadmap to reconnecting with your deepest, most authentic self and living a life of true purpose. All right, family, can we get real for a minute? Just huddle up and listen. You know how we all walk around most days playing a part? We're the employee, the boss, the parent, the person stuck in traffic, and we get so wrapped up in that role, we totally forget who's actually in the driver's seat. We're convinced this character we're playing, with all its baggage and drama, is the real us. But that's the wildest illusion of all time. So, we're gonna crack open the ultimate code. We're diving deep into your true self, Jesus' unveiling of Genesis. We're not talking about a dusty old history lesson. Nah, we're talking about Jesus pulling back the curtain on the whole production, showing us that the Genesis story isn't about some long-ago people. It's a live broadcast of what's going down in our own heads right now. He's basically giving us the cheat code to see past the limited, human-level you, and wake up to the real, infinite, spiritual you, the you that was never born and can never die, the you that's one with the big I am. This is about finding that unshakable, rock-star level peace that no outside circumstance can ever touch. And once you get a taste of this, you'll realize the life you've been living is just the trailer for the main event. So, if this hits home for you, if you're ready to see the scriptures in a whole new light, do us a solid like the video. Drop a comment with the symbolic number 333 to let us know you're unlocking this inner truth, and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the journey. Let's build this community. Peace, of course. Here is the expansion of your first keynote, continuing directly from the flow of the introduction you provided. And wake up to the real infinite, spiritual you. The you that was never born and can never die, the you that's one with the big I am. This is about finding that unshakable, rock-star level peace that no outside circumstance can ever touch. Now, let's get down to the first and biggest hurdle we all face, the one Jesus was constantly trying to hip people to. The character you play ain't the real you. Let that marinate for a second. We roll out of bed every morning, and we immediately suit up in this whole identity costume. We're the person with a certain job title, a certain bank account, a certain past, a certain set of problems. We're the person who gets offended, who gets scared about the future, who carries around old regrets like a backpack full of bricks. We think, man, that's just me. That's my personality. We get so deep into the method acting of this human experience that we forget there's a whole other reality backstage. This character, this role, Joel would call it the carnal mind, or the Adamic man, is a total fabrication. It's like a video game avatar. You might customize it, you might level it up, you feel its victories and defeats, but you are not the avatar on the screen. You are the player, the consciousness, the awareness that's holding the controller. This character is entirely built on a feedback loop from the outside world. It learns what it's supposed to be from its parents, from society, from its own wins and losses. It's a collection of reactions, not a source of original action. And here's the kicker. The thing that keeps us trapped, this character believes it's running the whole show. It thinks it's the one thinking, the one doing, the one figuring everything out. It's the voice in your head that's constantly narrating, judging, worrying, and planning. It's the part of you that feels separate from other people, separate from God, separate from your own good. It operates on a currency of lack and fear. It's always trying to get somewhere, become something, or hold on to what it's got. It's a bottomless pit of wanting. But Jesus, in his unveiling of reality, cuts right through that noise. When he talks about dying to the self, he's not talking about some kind of self-punishment. He's talking about seeing through the absolute scam of this false, constructed self. He's telling us we have to stop taking our cues from this character. We have to stop believing it's limited, fear-based story. It's like Neo taking the red pill in the Matrix. He wakes up and sees the digital code he thought was real. He sees the prison for what it is. That's what this is. The character you've been playing, with all its drama and limitations, is the prison. Your true identity, the Christ self, the Son of God, has been in there the whole time, waiting for you to remember. This character isn't sinful or bad, it's just incomplete. It's a shadow, a faint echo of what you actually are. And you can't fix the shadow. You have to turn on the light. You have to shift your sense of I from the temporary, changing character to the eternal, unchanging actor who is one with the Father. Of course. Here is the expansion of your second keynote, flowing directly from the end of the first. You have to shift your sense of I from the temporary, changing character to the eternal, unchanging actor who is one with the Father. So, if that's the case, if this daily personality isn't the main event, then where do we even start to look for the real thing? This is where the whole game changes, because Jesus masterfully redirects us. He doesn't point to some far-off heaven or a future reward. He points us straight back to the beginning, to Genesis, and he flips the entire script. See, we've been reading it all wrong. We treat Genesis like it's a history book or a science report about the first week of planet Earth. But that's reading it on the literal level, and that level is a dead end for finding your true self. Jesus unveils it as something far more immediate and mind-blowing, as Genesis is your mind's origin story. Think about it. In the beginning. What beginning? It's not a date on a cosmic calendar. It's your beginning of conscious awareness, right here, right now, in this moment. The earth without form and void is the state of your own unformed, potential consciousness before thought kicks in. It's that quiet, peaceful space before the chatter starts. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. That's the great, unknowable mystery of your own being before the light of awareness shines. This isn't a story about dirt and oceans. It's a map of your own inner cosmos. Then the Spirit of God moves. That's the first flicker of your own I am-ness, your true identity starting to stir within you. And it speaks, let there be light. Boom. This is the big one. This is the dawning of your own individual consciousness. It's the moment you become aware that you are aware. This is the birth of the you. That can witness thought, that can perceive, that can experience. But, and here's the crucial twist, this light, this initial consciousness is still pure. It's not the character yet. It's the pristine awareness that will later get tricked into building the character. The 7 days that follow, they aren't 24-hour periods. They are stages of your own mental and spiritual unfolding. The separation of the waters is you learning to discern between different levels of thought. The higher, intuitive mind and the lower, sense-based mind. The bringing forth of grass and fruit trees is the budding of your own creative ideas and talents from the fertile soil of your consciousness. The sun, moon, and stars. They represent the rising of your own inner light, reason, and understanding to govern your inner world. Every single element, every beast of the field, every fowl of the air is a symbol for a different power, a different faculty, a different type of thought moving in the garden of your own mind. This whole majestic, cosmic drama is not an event that happened as to us. It is a process that happens as us. It is the living, breathing blueprint of how your own reality is perpetually created from the inside out. You are walking, talking Genesis. Of course. Here is the expansion of your third keynote flowing directly from the previous text. You are walking, talking Genesis. Now, once you see that, once you get that Genesis is this incredible, living map of your own consciousness, you're ready for the real bombshell, the move that changes everything. This is where Jesus comes in, not as a guy who just gives you a new rule book, but as the ultimate spiritual hacker who jailbreaks the entire system. He takes this ancient, misunderstood text and he performs the ultimate context switch. 6. Jesus flips the script from history to heresy. Let's be real, the traditional reading of the Bible, especially the Old Testament, can feel heavy. It's a story happenings out there. To other people in another time, it's about a distant God dealing with a stubborn creation. You're on the outside looking in, just trying to follow the moral of the story. But Jesus shatters that entire frame. His teaching is a heresy against the literal mind. He says, "You have heard that it was said to the ancients, but he's say unto you." He's constantly doing that. He's taking what was perceived as an external event or a rigid law, and he's pulling it way inside it. He internalizes the entire narrative. He does this with Genesis masterfully. The whole Adam and Eve drama, we've been taught to see it as humanity's original screw-up, a fatal inheritance we're all just doomed to carry. But Jesus' revelation invites us to see it differently. It's not our ancestral history. It's our present tense psychology. The fall isn't a one-time event in a garden. It's the moment-by-moment activity of your own mind when it chooses to listen to the wrong voice. The serpent isn't a scaly tempter. It's the voice of the outer, sense-based world, the carnal mind. That whispers, you're good, your peace, your fulfillment, it's all out here. It's in this experience, that possession, that person's opinion. It's the lie of external power. Eating the fruit is the act of accepting that lie as your truth. It's when your pure I am consciousness, your true self, gets tricked into believing it vises the limited, physical character it's playing. The moment you bite, you're cast out of the garden. And the garden isn't a physical place you get ejected from. It's a state of consciousness you fall asleep to. It's the awareness of your oneness, your harmony, your direct connection to Source. You fall into the dream of separation, of good and evil, of lack and fear, of toil and struggle. You put on the coats of skin, this physical body and its five-sense reality, and you forget the radiant spiritual being you are. Jesus' entire mission was to reverse this, to show us the path back to the garden by waking up from the dream right now. He wasn't interested in explaining a historical mistake. He was performing a present, tense intervention on the human soul, showing us that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's right here, within, waiting for us to switch our allegiance from the outer, talking serpent back to the inner. Silent Father, of course. Here is the expansion of your fourth keynote, flowing directly from the previous text. He wasn't interested in explaining a historical mistake. He was performing a present, tense intervention on the human soul, showing us that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's right here, within, waiting for us to switch our allegiance from the outer, talking serpent back to the inner. Silent Father. And that switch, that moment of waking up, is what this is all about. We've been walking around in this dream of separation for so long. We think the nightmare is real. We think the anxiety, the lack, the conflict, the never-ending search. We think that's just what life is. But it's not. It's the dream, and what Jesus unveils is the ultimate alarm clock. The fall is just waking up sleepwalking. Think about what it's like to be a sleepwalker. You're up, moving around, your eyes might even be open, but you are not present. You're operating on a low-level, automatic program. You might be terrified of a monster that isn't there, or you might be trying to complete a task that makes no sense. To you, in that state, it's all completely real. The fear is real, the struggle is real, but then someone shakes you awake. In an instant, the whole terrifying dreamscape vanishes. The monster disappears. The nonsensical task evaporates. You realize you were safe in your bed the whole time. The fear wasn't real. It was a phantom generated by a sleeping mind. That is the precise spiritual dynamic of the fall. We are spiritual beings, one with the Father, infinite and whole, asleep, in the dream of being a limited human character. The fear, the sense of lack, the belief that we're separate from our good. These are the monsters in the sleepwalking dream. They feel incredibly real. Our heart races, our stomach clenches, our whole world can seem to be falling apart because of them. We spend our entire lives trying to fight these dream monsters or outrun them. We try to build bigger bank accounts to feel secure. We seek validation from others to feel worthy. We chase after pleasures to numb the underlying ache of separation. We're rearranging the furniture in the dream, thinking it will make the monster go away. But Jesus doesn't teach you how to redecorate the dream. He walks right into your sleepwalking state and he shakes you awake. He calls out, "Rise, take up your bed and walk." He's saying, the power you think you don't have, you have. The wholeness you think you lost, you never lost. The separation you feel is an illusion. Waking up isn't about acquiring something new. It's about realizing what has always been true. It's the shocking, immediate, and profound realization that the monster was never real, the lack was a lie, and you were safe in the arms of the Father the entire time. The fall is simply the name for the sleepwalking state. The redemption, the salvation, the entire message of the Christ is the gentle, firm shake back into reality. It's the dawning awareness that you are not the character lost in the nightmare. You are the sleeper, safe and whole, now becoming conscious, now opening your true eyes. Of course, here is the expansion of your fifth keynote, flowing directly from the previous text. It's the dawning awareness that you are not the character lost in the nightmare. You are the sleeper, safe and whole, now becoming conscious, now opening your true eyes. So, if we're not the character, and we're not even the sleeper having a bad dream, then who in the world are we? We've peeled back all these layers of illusion, and we're left with the most profound question a human being can ask. The answer is the very foundation of existence itself, and it's what Jesus came to reveal in its full, shocking clarity. That your true self is the I am before the let be light azash. We have to sit with that for a minute, because the mind wants to skip right over it. We read Genesis and we identify with the light. We think, okay, my consciousness, my awareness, that's the real me. And that's a huge step forward from identifying with the physical body or the personality. But Jesus points us even further back to a truth so foundational it's almost impossible to grasp with the thinking mind. Before the light was spoken, there was the speaker. Before the first flicker of individual awareness, there was the awareness that decided to become aware. That is your true self. It is the I am tit I am that spoke to Moses from the burning bush. It is the uncreated, unconditioned, eternal being that has no beginning and no end. This is the ultimate heresy to the human mind, the carnal character that thinks it's running the show. This character is a thing that was born. It has a story. It has a name, a history, preferences and flaws. It's a product of the light, a formation Z within the created consciousness. But your true self is not a product. It is the silent, invisible source from which the entire movie of your life is projected. When Jesus said, "Before Abraham was, I am," he wasn't making a claim about his historical body. He was revealing this ultimate truth of identity. He was speaking from the place of the I am before creation. Trying to find this self with your intellect is like a character in a movie trying to find the projector by walking around on the screen. It can't be done. You can't objectify it, you can't define it, you can't put it in a box. It is the subject of all your experiences. It is the knower behind your knowing, the seer behind your sight, the life that animates your body. It is the vast, open space of pure being in which the entire drama of your personal existence, the thoughts, the feelings, the world, arises and plays out and dissolves. This I am is your fundamental nature. It is what you are when you strip away everything you are not. It is the Father within, the kingdom, the pearl of great price. It is the rock upon which you must build your entire house of consciousness, because when you realize this, you realize that nothing can ever truly be taken from you, because the world and its events are happening within you, not to you. You are the very substance from which all things are formed. Of course, here is the expansion of your sixth and final keynote, flowing directly from the previous text. You are the very substance from which all things are formed. This brings us to the end of the search, the final piece of the puzzle that makes the entire journey make sense. If your true self is this foundational I am, this unshakable, eternal being, then what does that mean for your life, right here, right now, in the mess and beauty of this human experience? It means the goal was never to build a better life out there. It was never to finally arrange all the external circumstances perfectly so you could earn a feeling of peace. That's the sleepwalker trying to fight the dream monster. The ultimate revelation, the one that truly sets you free, is this: the kingdom of heaven is your default setting. We've been taught that heaven is a place you go to, a reward you get after you die if you've been good enough. We approach it like it's a destination on a map, a finish line we have to struggle to cross. But that entire concept keeps us trapped in the dream of separation, looking for our good somewhere in the future, somewhere outside of ourselves. Jesus smashed that idea. He said, the kingdom of God is within you. And he said, the kingdom of God is at hand, not far off, not later. Now, inside, think of it like this. Your iPhone has a factory settings option. No matter how messed up it gets, no matter how many buggy apps you download or how cluttered the storage becomes, there is always that pristine, perfect, original operating system buried deep within. Restoring it doesn't add anything new, it just removes all the junk that was obscuring its perfect function. Your consciousness is the same. Your default setting, your original factory, installed operating system is the kingdom of heaven. It is a state of wholeness, perfect peace, infinite abundance, and unconditional love. It's not something you attain, it's something you return to. It's what's left when you stop adding the junk of the carnal mind. The judgments, the fears, the beliefs in lack and separation. This is the practical magic of this entire teaching. You don't have to create peace. You are peace. You just have to stop the mental noise that is hiding that fact. You don't have to go out and find abundance. You are abundance itself, the very substance of all form. You just have to stop entertaining the thoughts of lack, the struggle, the feeling of being far from God, the sense of being a sinner in a fallen world. That's the buggy software. That's the clutter. Your spiritual practice isn't about building a connection to God. It's about realizing the connection that has never, for a single second, been broken. It's a process of subtraction, not addition. It's about letting go of the mistaken identity, the false program, and allowing your innate, divine nature to just be, to express itself spontaneously and perfectly as your life. When you stop trying to get somewhere else, you find you were always already home. The garden was never lost, you just closed your eyes.